Hey, you there! Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 7v7 custom match here on the most amazing New Access map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 on the northwestern side of the map, and ending with Team 2 in the southeast. Again, it's Team 1 up here, and Team 2 is down in the southeast. Starting off, we'll look at Team 1's southern front and then kind of go clockwise in this fashion. We have in Emerald Green, the Wreck playing as an Aeon. He is at 2,300. He is the highest rated player on Team 1. To his west in Rust, it is Gamer9 XXX. He's playing as a Cyber, and he is a 1,400. To his north in Ruby Red, it is Cascade playing as a Seraphim. He is a 2,000 rated player. To his northeast, we have in Batman Gray, Cool Dude. He's playing as a UEF. He is a 1,200. In Amethyst Purple, to his east is definitely one of the more interesting names. Is Average Smurf Enjoyer playing as a Seraphim. He is a 1,600. In Orange Color Orange, another Seraphim Team 1, it is Xbar. He is a 1,900. And rounding out Team 1's lineup in the middle, we have in Imperial Gray, it is Babel playing as an Aeon. He is a 1,400. So for Team 1 side of the map, for a faction mix-up, they have one UEF, they have one Cybran, and then they have two Aeons and three Seraphim. That counts up to 7. So all the factions represented on Team 1 side of the map. Taking a look at Team 2's western side and then going clockwise as well, we have in lightest red pink, it is Rekather playing as a Cyber. He is a 1,500. To his north in Chevy Crimson, it is Nomander playing as a Seraphim. He is a 2,600. The highest rated player on Team 2 and in the game overall by 300 points of rating, or rough 300 points. To his east, we have in Regal Purple, it is Tesla Max playing as an Aeon. He is a 1,500. To his north in Royal Blue, it is Master of Seasons playing as a UEF. He is a 1,600. In Light Oak Tan to his south, it is Spectre Slave 137 playing as a Cyber, and he is a 1,600 as well. To his south in Tropical Ocean Blue, it is the UEF of Darth Sand. He is a 1,200. And to his southwest, we have in Pac-Man Yellow in the water, taking a nice little dip, it is Twitchy Mofo playing as a UEF as well as a 1,600. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have 3 UEF, they have 1 Cybran, 2 Cybrans, 1 Aeon, and 1 Seraphim. So Team 2 and Team 1 both have all of the factions on their side of the map. Team 2 has a little bit more Cybran and UEF, and Team 1 has a little bit more Aeon and Seraphim. And for these 14 players on the map, let's take a look at their reclaim situation, currently sitting at 52,000 mass in reclaim, which makes it over 3,000 mass. Probably close to like 3,500 or something if I can do math in my head, because 14 times 3 is 42, and then it's 52, so yeah, 3.5, 3.4, somewhere around there, some amount of mass. And there is major locations on the map to grab there. I'd say there's 3 very important ones, and then a lot of secondary ones, and then everything else. We have this one right here, this one right here, and this one right here. There's 8,500 there, 6,600, and then 5,000 there. We have a decent, 4, another 3, another, 3 there. And then there's the 37, and then, of course, the one opposite of that. So lots of reclaim to grab in the middle of the map. Pretty much nowhere else does the map really have reclaim. There's a little bit down there. That's pretty much the major clumpage in terms of the mexes. There's a lot of shotgunning of mexes, just you took a shotgun and it just blasted a bunch of mexes here. Nothing really super clumped together. But on Team 1 side of the map, we do see a couple of Trimexes. A couple of twins, actually. Haven't seen twins in a little bit. There's twin there, Trimex there, Trimex there, Trimex there. Another twin up there. And not a lot in the background. But there's, there's something for somebody, I guess. Oh, and there's also, it's kind of a Trimex over there. So there are mexes, expansions for players to get, but a little bit more focus on the reclaim, not necessarily on the mexes. But again, you do have to account for the fact there's just a lot of stuff up here, given this, again, the shotgunning of mexes. There's a couple of major land incursions I already kind of see happening. We have this over here to the east, this over here to the west. We do see some pond in the middle, some maybe naval action. Maybe it's a small pond, but there are main bases in cruiser missile range, at least these two specifically, and maybe you can clip that one. So it is worth it to grab those central points to be able to launch some missiles from some cruisers continuously and forever and the whatnot. Eastern side, we do see players moving in from both teams. We have 1, 2, 3, and then probably 4 on the way. Yep, for Dart Sand. So we have 4 players for Team 2 heading on this eastern side, and then 2 players for Team 1. Third one on the way, and then fourth one is kind of going out there to the east, but he is at least going to the northeast at a bare minimum. But in the middle here, it's going to be 3v2 currently, and then probably a 4v2, and then maybe 3v4 and that sort of thing. Western side, it's 1v1 so far with reinforcements on the way. Gamer9 and Twitchmo for bringing up the rear. Nomander and the I'm sure this will be a good game is actually the Wreck. So just to be aware, he just changed his name to this very long name, and we'll see if he changes it or not later on. Shots are inbound between X-Bar of Team 1 and Tesla Max of Team 2. We do see Master of Seasons is here, and Spectre Slave has joined this reclaim party. Again, this is where that huge 8,000 is, so it is worth going after with every fiber of everybody's being. Shot for shots down here in the southwest as well. This game will be good. I'm assuming there's supposed to be a question mark at the end of that, so I'll just kind of draw in for, oh no, I'm sure, yeah, the I'm sure, yeah, anyway, you get my point. We do see wall section kind of deters some movement from the Wreck onto Nomander. Nomander booping the Wreck, saying, get out of here, this is my spot, I was here first. And we do see that Gamer9 is slowly moving in. Twitchy Mofo looks like he's going to be coming in. He's kind of stopped here for a moment, but has decided, I think he might have spotted Gamer9 and is able to be like, yeah, it's probably worth it to go that way. We do see Rekather pushing in on that southern edge of the southwest. If you wall kill me, I'm reporting you, says the Wreck. Talking about, I guess there's maybe a glitch with, you know, walling him in or something, and he kind of gets glitched and stuck in there, and then he dies, maybe is probably what he's talking about. So I don't really know about that glitch, so if anybody has any details about that, please let me know down in the comments so I am more aware of it. We do see Team 2 has pretty much claim over that reclaim, which it still some of exists. Babel's taking some shots from some Team 1 hunters and a couple of other smaller units in the Team 1 phase department. We have Nomander now being 2v1. The I'm sure this will be a good game guy, which his name is actually the Wreck, is down in the yellow. We do see Twitchy Mofo is going this way, and Gamer9 went this way, and now it's a 2v1 against the Wreck, and that's not looking good for him. We do see Rekather is going to bring up the rear. We could see a possible double kill for Team 2 if the Rekather can get there soon enough. And the Wreck is dropping hit points below 2,000, below 1,500. Get into the water immediately. And I don't think he'll make it there. 700, 600, 500, 400, 300, 200, 100. There he goes. Team 1 suffers the first kill of the game. Nomander drops almost into the red, but he gets some veterancy there. So he staves off death just a little bit longer. Gamer9 is now being double teamed. Nomander is getting some shots blocked by his friendly neighborhood Twitchy Mofo to be able to body block and protect him for now. Nice little meat shield, especially with the 12,000 hit points he can bring to bear. Western side, we have Babel and Spectre Slave booping one another, and then Tesla Max moving in. Actually from the northeast, he hooked it around this little sad face that's right here. And Babel's dropped him below 3,500 now into the red, sub 2,000. And he's at 1-star vet, but again, it's not looking good. Tesla Max doesn't continue to follow Babel. Babel is getting close. He's getting close. He just needs to get to there. 600 hit points, 500 hit points, 400. 3, 2, 1, 0. And there he goes. Overcharge almost stole the kill there from Tesla Max. But Spectre Slave does get the credit for that kill. It is now a 5v7 in favor of Team 2 of the Southern Department. We do see in the Northeast, Master of Seasons being surrounded by XRAR, being put up against this little outcropping mountain thingamajig. And I don't think he's looking good. And Master of Seasons, I think, knows it. XRAR is still at 7,600, while Master is at 4,000. Yeah, and those forces actually getting away from the comm just to make sure he doesn't die from a volatile explosion from said comm. More units inbound. Maybe they're going to take the brunt of the damage there, or just do most of the brunt of damage. Master of Season, he needs to try to kite around this. Dart Sand is nearby. He needs to go this way to assist immediately. Move in order like, hey, come here. And Dart Sand's like, okay, I'm coming, I see you now. 1600, 1400, 1000, 800, 700, 600, 500, 400, 300, 200, 1, and there he goes. And Team 2 suffers their first loss of the game at 8 minutes. And it is now a 6v7 still in favor for Team 2. Guns have been started for Cool Dude and Average Smurf Enjoyer. In terms of who got the other bases in this game, given the fact that there are now 2 dead players on Team 1 and 1 for Team 2, it looks like Cool Dude got one of them, and it looks like Cascade got the other one. I feel like this should just be a trade in the sense that, you know, Cascade gives this base over to Cool Dude, and then he gets the air base. Because, well, I guess that is his. No, I say actually that's his original base. Never mind. But anyway, I feel like one player should be doing air and one player should just be doing land. But those are my 2 cents there. I, for some reason, thought he was swapped, but he's not. Gun done for Average Smurf and Jorah. Gun almost done for Cool Dude. We have gun started for Gamer 9. Gun started for Rekather. So players starting to be a little bit more cautious with the, well, advancement of their comms. If they do want to move forward, they want to make sure they have a little bit more firepower to back it up. And Team 2, the player who got the base once belonging to Master of Seasons, is Spectre Slave. So he has double base for the time being. Looks like a couple of mixes were eliminated from Team 1. Maybe Team 1 Bombers. Yep, some Zeus looks like. Actually, that's Team 2's. Never mind. Don't know really what killed those. Looks like those forces were actually dealt with earlier. Gun almost done for Cool Dude. And that'll mean that Team 1 has 2 guns in the north. Team 2 has nothing. Spectre Slave 1-star vet, Darth Sand none, Tesla Max none. We see this resurgence for Team 1 in the momentum. You can see they're actually claiming the, I'd say the northern equator half of the map. But, you know, this is where the middle of the map actually is. And you can see that Team 1 is starting to break into Team 2's territory. We could see kind of a north v south scenario where Team 1 gets up here and Team 2 gets up here. Or sorry, down here, and call it a day there. That's kind of what's shaping up right now. We just see a couple of stuff remaining for Team 1 over here, and same thing over here to the east. And we do see a couple of forces still pushing in from Cool Dude. He has T2 land online. I think everybody either has T2 land or air online. Speaking of air, T3 started, T3 started. Team 2, T3 not started, and T3 not started. So Team 1's going to up. Well, that has been started, excuse me. Just barely. But Team 1 has the leg up in the air department for now. We do see a nice little fighter bomber online for Nomander, so he has T2 air also. Don't know if he's going T3 as well, but at least in a 7-player game, there's 2 players on each team that have air. That's definitely makes a lot of sense. Bomber drops, kills off all of those Team 1 AA emplacements, and I think those interceptors might catch up to that mouth there here shortly. So it does get some wins, but not by much. And there he goes. The game, at least in terms of the comms, have kind of died down. We do see 2 players still remaining on the front line for Team 2, but this eastern side's looking very weak. We see a lot of momentum on this eastern side for Average Smurf Enjoyer. He's really going to just hammer the southern edge, well, the eastern edge at least, here shortly. Western side, a couple of gunships going after Twitch Muffo, drops him into the yellow, but he does have some AA assistance from Nomander, which will slowly shoot through those stingers. Stingers are cheap. They don't do a lot of damage, but again, if you really need a gunship, at least that, you know, UEF style, they work in a pinch. They're like Jesters, but a little bit stronger. In that respect, we do see Gamer 9 pushing against those forces from Nomander. Twitchy Muffo's falling back again. It's gun versus no gun. 1-star event almost. Rekather does have gun. He's going to move in, and Gamer 9's almost at 1-star vet, so he's going to have a slight advantage here shortly. Units inbound. Couple of Ilshis looks like on board. Yep, there they go. From Nomander, he's going to drop right here and kill off a couple of mexes from Team 1. Hovertech down the middle from Team 1 using those blazes, and looks like a couple of asylums, and there's a scouter there too in there. I do forget the scouts exist in this game. I see them once in a while. I just don't make note of them because they're just very small units, but they do provide some vision and intelligence, so there's that. But I just don't think of them. I also don't think of them when I think of Hover as well, just because they're Team 1s. I do think of Aurora, but that's just because they're the mainline tank at Team 1 Tech. Nomander's just hanging out on this little mountain here, just overseeing these blazes being taken out by his Nathas and gunships. He's just kind of hanging out in that calm of his. We do see southeastern side T3 air done, T3 air almost done, T3 air done, T3 air done, and expansions for Team 1's Cascade in that department. Eastern side still the momentum shift in Team 1's direction. Average Smurf Enjoyer continuing to punish that eastern side. Team 2 needs to either mount some sort of resurgence against this, or just snipe somewhere else, maybe right here or here. And that might be able to pull the attention a little bit away and maybe kind of make it more centralized. But that eastern side for Team 2 is not looking good. Which either means, again, they have to redouble their efforts over here and push this side, or they just try to hold the line as much as possible, or do something to try to shake up that momentum, because it is not going well for that eastern front for now. Nano started here for Cool Dude. He doesn't have to go to stealth like his Siren compatriots or enemies or frenemies, so he can go straight for it. Ilshi's walking around here for Average Smurf and Joy. Best T2 unit in the game, hands down. Cannot change my mind about that. So good. Overcharge wipes out one of them. Spectre Slave almost up to 2-star vet now. We have Xbar over here moving this way. He could be pushing in this way, but it looks like he really wants to just claim the entire northern side, and that involves kicking out Team 2 right here. We do see Average Smurf and Joy is actually up here on this plateau. Not a lot up here, but, you know, it's something. It's better than nothing. Nano still paused here for Cool Dude, so we'll see if he actually continues with it. And then a gun started for Xbar. He does have some Ilshis. I just don't like that there's no shield or AA or even engineers nearby to maybe expedite that upgrade. I just don't like these kind of just literally in the open with not really a lot of support. I don't like it. He looks like he's fine for now, but you know, every time I say that, I feel like sometimes I just caster curse someone and then they die because of it. Stealth started for Rekather. He gets 2,000 additional hit points and, of course, that stealth upgrade. Nano Repair started for Average. That'll give him more sustain on that eastern side with the increased regen. And he's also a 2-star vet to even increase that regen just a smidgen more. In terms of eco, it's roughly the same. Team 1's slightly ahead, but again, not by much. Well, that's a little bit more than that, but we were talking about just 20. Now it's 40. It's really not a lot to be ahead. In terms of total master crew, Team 1 is in the lead just barely as well, so nothing too crazy for Team 2 to fall behind for now in terms of eco. Again, any lead is better than nothing, but it is recoverable for Team 2. It just depends on what they want to focus on and what attacks they can mount and, you know, be successful at it, whatnot. Transport with a lot of units on board. Looks like a couple of Ilshis and a decent amount of Zooey. Maybe there's a Tham mixed in too. Maybe it's just Zooey's. Anyway, that one's running around for Nomander. Nano started for Rekather as well, making sure he's nice and regened up. He's already at full HP, so he just wants to make sure he has that little bit more sustain. Nano Repair now restarted here for Cool Dude. Looks like he probably had to fix his power most likely. And as a reminder, this is what Team 1 can see on Team 2's side of the map. And Team 2, this is what they can see. So a lot more intelligence has been gathered for Team 1 than for Team 2. So that might play into things towards the mid-game as players figure out what they really want to do in it. T3 Land should be making an appearance here shortly. Looks like it's almost done for Nomander. T3 Land is already done for Spectre Slave. That would make sense because he has 2 bases. We do see that Nano upgrade almost done for Average. The Ilshi's coming in to probably stop Spectre Slave from trying to stop the upgrade. The upgrade will finish here shortly. Not looking too hot. Looks like he's smoking a little bit. There he goes. Going for T2 to get some additional hit points on board. He's like, I don't know if I want to. Oh, he's actually going to go for it. Spectre Slave doesn't have stealth or nano online, so a disadvantage for him. He does have some of those hoplites nearby and a decent amount of parashields to protect that commander, giving him thousands upon thousands of additional hit points. This, on the other hand, that's going to help out a lot. Nice little Percy coming online, and that's going to rip off a couple of hit points from Average Smurf and Troy. He's back up to 10k though, but again, it's going to hurt nonetheless. And western side still not a lot of pushing in from Team 1 yet. But again, it's one of those things where they might just be building, and then they just launch one assault. Because if you constantly launch some assaults that get some work done, it might give enough, reclaim or whatever for Team 2 to be able to push back. It depends on the enemy situation. If they have nothing, you might as well push with what you have. But they could be luring you in a trap. That's why intelligence gathering, all that stuff is very, very important. Western side, just the line of Team 1 units with a couple of tanks at the T2 tech online. For Gamer 9, just trying to stop any movement and just not a lot of anything to run by. They have a little bit of a gap, but they do have forces back here just in case. So I think they're fine for now. I say that and someone's going to die. I know it. I'm just going to jinx myself and somebody else in the game. Apologies ahead of time. Team 2 slightly coming back in eco. Now it's 25 to 30-ish. We'll see how that goes. Stealth started for Team 1's Gamer 9. hanging out over there. We do see a nice little Team 1 naval facility producing some Beacon-class frigates. And we do see a couple of subs mixed in there as well. Nothing from Team 2 yet, but maybe that will change here shortly. Eastern side, Team 1 is starting to push this way. There's a couple of Othams in this mix, which, speaking of Othams, for those of you who do not know, I have started the poll on the channel for what the name of the Othams is going to be. I can forget all of them off the top of my head. I know Order is one of them. And shoot, I can't remember the other two. I can only remember Order. Anyway, it's up on the channel page, channel thingy, whatever the page is with all the posts on it, whatever. Take a look at that. Whichever one you like, vote for it. If you don't have an opinion, there's also an option for that. So, I really do appreciate the participation in that. It helps me know, okay, yeah, we want this to be called this. We want this to be called this. And there's no, essentially me making the executive decisions all the time. I want input from everybody because this is a community at the end of the day. Transport does get shot down, and Team 2 is going to build some more AA in response to that. There was a nice little Redeemer mixed in there as well to help with the AA. And that fight goes well for Team 2. Again, not too much of a lead in terms of the ASF count. But hey, an advantage. As small of it is, it's an advantage. Why does everyone on your team have air? Because you dropped me early, says Rekather. Because you dropped me early. What? No idea what that's in reference to. Nano started for Gamer 9 in the pond over there. Spectre Slave is pushing in a little bit, and T2 has been restarted on board Average Smurf and Joy. Now that he's back in the company of some engineers and further back in the protection zone with all of those mountains nearby. Not that they're offering that much protection, but it's something. We have Harbingers inbound. Not enough for a host yet, but enough to be, I'd say, a little bit concerning. Counter Harbingers are also online. Team 1 PD, maybe one will come on. Oh, nope, never mind. Cancels that immediately. Cool Dude and XY are pushing. Definitely want to be careful with both of them because, nobody wants to lose two comms back to back. But especially because Cool Dude is an air player, you don't want to lose him and lose all of that micro there in that regard. But there is still another air player for Team 1 for Cascade, so he could be transferred control over to that, which I kind of already suggested giving it all to one player. Anyways, Bombers inbound from Team 2 from Dart Sand. Going to drop on top of the comm. Light couple of units on fire, but nothing too crazy, honestly. Spectral Slave shoves his forces this way just to kind of offer a little bit more spreading out of the defenses, but it does leave them a little bit weaker because there is an inbound force from Team 1 that is going to come say hi and not have a fun time for him. Nano upgrade at 50%. Rekather still hanging out down here, just not really doing not a whole lot with his comm. Gun started for Tesla Max, probably going to go for range after that. Nomad hanging out between pond and water, just getting his feet wet, just making sure that he's nice and cool and his toes are not burning from the ground, whatever, how hot this planet is. I guess it's green, so it can't be too hot. And eastern side, you can see that force from Spectre Slave that went this way, oh no, there's the force this way, and moves back this way, but it leaves a hole for Team 2 Team 1 to exploit to go this way. So it's, again, you're getting pulled in different directions. You're like, which one is worse to deal with? And he's like, well, I'll just cover my comm, and that leaves an opening. Team 1, again, is getting closer and closer to owning the entire northern half of the map, and I just don't know if they're going to commit fully. Again, the half of the map, I'd say, is roughly about this, which they almost actually own it outright. It's just a little bit outcropping from Team 2 Spectral Slave, and that's about it. And here come those Harbingers. Not enough for a host yet. We have some gunships online from Dark Sand to deal with inbound invaders. Definitely a good choice because they have the best DPS for air-to-ground units. Transports with a couple of Othams are going to drop right on top of those Harbingers, and that's going to help thin out their HP very, very quickly. Nice grab there. A couple of them might run by. ASF's inbound transport shot down, but it did its job anyways. And Othams deal with that last Harbinger. So nice micro there. We have Cool Dude coming up against Spectre Slave. Again, he has a lot of Perseus, and that's not a good idea. I don't know if he wanted to die or not. Maybe he just didn't see the Perseus in time or something, but that is a kill for Team 2. It is now a 4v6 in favor for Team 2. But it does give another base to somebody. And what probably will happen is, so he gets it. Cascade gets all 4 bases. He might transfer this one over or even this one over and just keep with the air grid and just call it a day there and give control of all the land-specific facilities and whatnot to other players. I would assume maybe 1 to Gamer 9 and then 1 to probably XR or even Average Smurf and George, just one of those two. but we'll see what he ends up doing there. Eastern side, the attack does kind of peter out a little bit, especially with the death of Cool Dude. Again, the APM has been cut again, so less actions a minute for Team 1 means possible way for Team 2 to come back, especially in the eco department, where they're behind now about 150 roughly. That is it's a not huge amount, at least at this stage, but it is something to consider nonetheless about who you think is going to win this game. Cloaking, Cloaking at 22 minutes for Rekather. That's very interesting. We'll see how he uses that upgrade. He'll definitely go for laser after this, because why not? Gamer 9 now being possibly shot at by some Othams from Team 2's No Mander, just hanging out. Looks like Team D is the target, which means he might have a missile or two inbound, and that's not going to be fun for everybody over there. We do see forces are stacking up for Team 1 once again, but again, it's that scenario where they were pushing, and now it's stopped. And now that it's stopped, Team 2 has a chance to really just breathe, relax, rebuild stuff, reclaim stuff, and just get things going again. Shield heavy started here for Tesla Max. He has Aeon Sniper on board. He's going for Aeon Sniper tank, so he's going to be very, very beefy with that comm. And that might be a target for Team 1 to go after. We'll see. Because he's going to have to use it. If he's going to invest that much mass and energy into those upgrades, you might as well use it, because it's going to be pointless if you don't. Percy's going after engineers. Not the best use of their time in terms of how much energy and shots and whatnot have to be expelled to deal with individual units like that. But hey, eventually you'll kill them. You'll just miss them a couple of times because again, accuracy isn't 100%, and it takes time to reload and whatnot. Team 1, again, they're losing it. Again, a little bit momentum over here, but nothing too crazy. Western side, it's been very quiet on the western front here for a while now, except for those two Othams that came to say hi. And they killed off a T2 mech, so that's 9 mass a second. So nothing too bad there. Cascade sitting at 500 in the lead for mass income, and he did give over one of the bases. He kept the other one, so he's still at 3 bases for himself. Team 2, we have everybody kind of in that 100 to 200-ish range. So again, more outliers for Team 1, given there's 540 and 340 versus Team 2, with a little bit more averaging out in terms of everybody's producing roughly not the same, but again within that kind of 150 to 200-ish range. There's only one player that really doesn't fall in that, and that is SpectreSlave, which could be power related. It is not, but could be. Now we see some sandwiching in between some Othams and some Othams from Team 1. Here's where the name of them, the order, whatever you want to name them, could become in handy, because there's a couple of groups of them here from Team 1. SpectreSlave moving in to assist his remaining Percys, but that's probably not a good idea. He definitely needed to not engage, and that's a lot of T3 forces. Couple of Percys still remain. It might give him the breathing room. He has to go this way. Do not turn this way, because he will be... and he went... he kind of went that way. That's not too bad. He needs to overcharge a lot of these to stay alive. Definitely wishing he had nano and stealth and all the whatnot. Another dead unit for Team 1. He's being now just sandwiched on the edge there. Oh, there he goes. So some revenge for Team 1 from the land play on the eastern side from Average Smurf and Joy, avenging his teammate of Cool Dude. Who, again, there's some Harbingers still inbound from Team 2. There's a Percy still there, but that went after that target. Oh, some Fire Beetles were there just hanging out. That's interesting. That can actually help out, give a little bit more breathing room to Team 2. But again, some forces will be killed off. We have Tesla Max inbound some of the facilities. This one's probably going to go down. This little section is gone. I assume this base will be fine. We have some gunships inbound, not only from Pac-Man Yellow player of Twitchy, but also from the Tropical Ocean Blue player of Dark Sand, the both we have players in the background. And T3 land headquarters will not be saved unless a miracle can happen for this land headquarters. I don't think so, given everything else is already dead, and there's really not a lot of stuff for those Othams to target at this point. And 2,400. Oh, it might be enough. The Othams decide to turn tail and run. They're not going to get out of range of anything, so I don't know why they're retreating, but I guess a little bit of mass closer to Team 1's front line isn't a bad thing. Cloaking is done. Laser's done for Rekather. 25,000 hit points on board, and he's going to be soon climbing with that. All Team 1 needs is an Omni or some sort of device or unit that has something nearby for it to protect them, and that cloaking is nullified. Large group of ASFs over here guarding the retreat of those forces from Average Smurf. 25 minutes, 26 minutes actually on the clock. Team 2, again, at 6 players left. Team 1 at 4. Team 1 at 1.4. Team 2, 1.3. So still within about 100 or so mass. Again, nothing really crazy in terms of a lead, but again, a lead is better than nothing. And map control heavily favors Team 1 at this point. They own the northern half of the map, which is a decent majority of the reclaim, the mexes. Yeah, there's still mexes down here for Team 2, but Team 1 bet on this side, and it's kind of being shown by their income, but we'll see how they end up using it if they have to, spend more time upgrading and taking more time to get to T3 and whatnot. But let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't done so already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it as we watch some Harbingers engage a really, really, really small brick wall. And the comm of Reckoner just lasering the remaining 2, which does let Team 1 know, if they're paying attention to that the comm is there. There is a GC and there is a comm here from Gamer9. I don't know if Team 1 sees him. No, they do not. Team 2, do you know he's there? No, you do not. But they do know something is on the rise, and he might just intercept that GC anyways, even though he doesn't know what it is, but he's making an assumption about what it is. Looks like pinging's going down, so he knows what it is now at least. Chicken on the eastern front, definitely not a good thing for Tesla max health, especially for him charging right at him. Might have to split. I'm definitely going to have to split things, because things are going to engage one another here shortly. There goes Reckoner's comm against the GC. He was targeting the bricks for a second. And there is the GC taking thousands upon thousands of damage with overcharges assisting that as well. Tesla Max is falling back. T2 artillery spam here from Nomander. That's not going to go anywhere. And GC turns around, tries to laser the ground and try to ground fire the comm, but nope, doesn't work because just the amount of damage that Rector was outputting. And Team 1 still doesn't know he's there, or they have an idea he's there, they just can't see him. Spy planes need to be shown over top. There's a lot of AA nearby. He could target that. He's already at 5-star vet from that one engagement. And Tesla Max is going to die here. Looks like he wasn't able to get out of range of the chicken in time. And maybe one overcharge. Nope, not enough. There he goes. Team 2 drops another player. It's still in the lead for Team 2 at 4v4. It's not even a tied game. I think I said 6, didn't I? I meant 5. But I think everybody knew what I meant at that point. But that is unfortunate. That is not the right button. That's the right button for Team 2. They drop to the same amount as Team 1, 4v4. Airfight happens over the top. A little bit of pawn here on Team 2 side of the map. Looks like Nomander landed some forces up here and is now started securing it. But airfight won by Team 1 hands down. There's a little bit of flak in the area from Nomander, but not too much. And I mean, it is a win for Team 1. It's a severe loss nonetheless, because a lot of ASFs are dead, which means all of that reclaim will most likely go to Team 2, just given it's right there, right next to Nomander. And looks like the gunships were able to eliminate the chicken, but not able to save the comm of Tesla Max. Western side, we have a couple of Team 1 subs going after the remaining forces from Gamer9. And now Gamer9 is going to get hit. And I don't know if Team 1 knows he's there. No, he doesn't. Spy plane won't see him yet. He has to get in that. There he is. He gets spotted for a brief moment. He shouldn't be spotted for very long, as long as he doesn't stay in Omni range or is in Omni range. He'll be fine. Or, the spy plane continues to try to hover over them. Optimus tried to charge. What is this? Well, I guess he's going to build PD. Yeah, PD. That's a lot of it, no matter. That's a lot of PD. I mean, I guess he's just busy doing other things to draw a line and call it a day. Torp bombers being deployed, going after cruisers. Definitely a good play there. Go after all of the stuff shooting at you, then shoot at everything else. And most of those cruisers are dealt with. Oh, yep. That one's almost dead, but not by much. And Gamer9 is going to pop out of the water. That's definitely a smart choice. There's bricks inbound. He might just get forced out because the torpedoes on board them. Anyways, another set of torp bombers inbound. They'll wipe out that cruiser. Oh, no, they won't. 80, not 800. 80 hit points remain. Eastern side, Team 1, again, it's a push in and fall back. And then push, nope, and then push in and then fall back. And then push in and then fall back. And then push in and then fall back. So they're really doing a good job of not overstaying their welcome, but doing just enough to just take some territory and then try to hold it, try to push in a little bit, and then hold it. There's the trend and risk where you have like a bunch of territories or whatever, and then you just send an army, go boop, 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 but then you're like, well, I want to use most of my army for the continuing attacks. You leave one left, and then it's just the player behind you, if he does get the next player ahead, if he does have a good engagement, will just steamroll you, and it's kind of just this never-ending cycle of people just constantly trading territories because there's not a lot of defenders, where some players will take one, put a bunch of stuff in it to defend it, and then next turn take one, maybe two, and then try to defend as much as possible, and they kind of just slowly build up versus a kind of build up, like a quick build up and then a quick fall because of the lack of defense, which I do happen to do that from time to time in my Star Wars Empire at War campaigns, which it is Saturday, so I actually will be releasing a video today on the not Seraphim, but the Separatist side of things. If those of you who do enjoy those videos, it is releasing today at 12, 2, something like that. Some amount of time during the day. So go ahead and look out for that. We do see Chicken on its lonesome going against some Optims and some sniper bots and the whatnot. Ooh, we have a Billy Nuke, ladies and gentlemen, from somebody. Team 2 has 2 UEF players remaining, so it has to be one of the two. There it is. Twitchy Mofo has Billy Nuke. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Darth Sand and Twitchy Mofo have Billy Nuke, so that's a lot of mobile firepower here for Team 2. And that is not going to help Team 1. They need to get those Loyalists online and move them to the front lines and keep them there, because that's going to really help defend against these Billy Nukes from Team 2. Looks like a couple of those shield units were dealt with, or at least looked like they were dealt with. And again, I think it's 10,000 damage per Billy Nuke. It's a lot of firepower. Nuke spotted by Team 1, and it's Rekather's nuke. I believe that's probably the first nuke of the game that I've at least seen at a bare minimum. Nope, there's one up here from Team 1's Cascade. And he's building an Awasa bomber on the water, so taking use of the land mass there, or the water mass there, I should say. And I don't know. We see lines PD being built. I don't know how much this is going to help, because there's a lot of PD here. Chicken is almost done. I'm assuming there's a Billy Nuke. There's another Chicken inbound from Nomander. And we actually have lost a main base, I believe, from Team 2 right there from Spectre Slave. And Chicken inbound. Nuke is inbound right there. Ooh, that's a point defense nuke if I've ever seen one. And it's going to go east. If they... Oh, they're going to keep the Chicken there, it looks like. It might just be a murder-suicide. Oh, the Chicken's dead. Billy Nuke lands there. The nuke isn't going to... Actually, the nuke didn't go that way. Never mind. It just made the same... It made the noise at the same time that the Billy Nuke was landed. So never mind. Forget what I just said. The nuke's not going to go there. The nuke's going over here. Ooh, where's he going to land? Oh, it's right there. Gamer 9's right there. He's going to be out of range. That's a couple of hosts of Harbingers, but that isn't. Kaboom! Nice grab. Takes out chunks of hit points for the Megalith. Wipes out a ton of Team 3 units and other units, and kills up a couple of Harbingers from Team 1's Cascade. That's about, 2 hosts, I'd say. Almost 2 hosts. There were 2 hosts, and then a couple of them died. Look at these. Look at them. They look like wall sections, but they're not wall sections. They're just fetching PD wall sections. It's like PD. It's like wall sections, but they shoot at you. Yeah, it's not fun. Billy Nuke inbound. Wish it was just a little bit more to the east, but depending on the travel time, the forces are starting to fall back, so maybe. We do see he's already prepped some engineers to go after those mexes. Kills off a couple of Othams and whatnot, so that's something. And it does prevent incursions having just a line of PDs saying, hey, don't come this way. You're not going to have a fun time. There's a lot of stuff going to be shooting at you. Brick's moving in, kill off the crab. Gamer 9 is in the mix here. Needs to be careful. Yes, the Harbingers are T3 units, but again, there's a lot of firepower here. We have a couple of skirmishes over here. Looks like they're targeting Gamer 9's comm. He's trying to use the Harbingers as a little bit of bullets, sponges, and whatnot, but he's losing hit points. Bricks don't kill him off just yet. We have the comm of Rekather closing in. Gamer 9 XXX, do you see the comm? Yes, you do. He is in Omni range. We have some sort of Omni sensor. Yep, there it is. And a Soothsayer. Soothsayer does not provide Omni. It just provides vision. So it's coupled with an Omni, which is very, very nice. And that is not the right player who has that. You can see it's almost the range of that. Almost. I think it is roughly the exact range. And there goes it. It's offline. The Omni will probably be the next target. Tons of cruiser missiles from the east. And now Gamer 9 is starting to lose his retreat vector. He needs to go this way now. He can't go this way because those bricks are actually running alongside him, so that's not going to help. So he's just running into the bricks. It's like running into a brick wall. It hurts very, very much. And he's at over 10,000 mass kills, so he's 5-star vet. His hit points dropping below 4, dropping below 2, dropping below 1,000 hit points. And there he goes. Killed off by the bricks from Team 2. Gunships going after Reckitther's comm. And again, there's that Omni being pointed out. And there's 1, 2, 3 strat bombers. He still has a lot of hit points, though, due to the fact that, he has the cloaking and the whatnot. But Team 1 loses sight of him, which means they can't shoot at him. ASFs are inbound. Don't know where they're going, but they're going somewhere. Oh, where's the Alpha Shot Bomber? There it is on top of the air grid from Team 2's Twitchy Mofo. Ooh, I think a little bit of splash damage on the ASFs, but granted, he did wipe out half of the air grid. No Man was like, nope, get me in that shield grid immediately. Yikes, says Tesla. Yeah, that's a yikes. ASFs were lured out, and that is not going to be a fun time. And looks like he's going to prep another bomb. He's giving a second. Airfight's happening. Don't know why he's not engaging. Okay, there it is. It's loaded, ready to go. Oh, he's not going to hit the rest of the air grid? Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, Bomber is going to get killed off here. Looks like Team 2 won the air fight. Oh, some ASFs might get clipped. A couple of them do. But the remaining ASFs from Team 1 are pretty much down. If not, they're going to be down here in a moment. So lovely grab of the air grid from Team 1's Cascade, but could have probably just cemented that and completely wiped out at least one player's air grid. But, was probably focused on maybe trying to wipe out chunks of both. But there was a decent amount of shielding here. Wasn't going to work. Or he tried to bait the ASFs to follow, have the bomb essentially blow up a ton of them as they pass over, maybe? I don't know exactly what his thought process was, but I guess he killed off a couple on that bombing run. And the TMD trying to hold volcanoes, just throwing up their flares, not throwing with an F, it's with a TH. And looks like some comments about shooting shot this way here from who would that be? Oh, from Master of Seasons, because he was the blue player. It is hard when they don't keep their colors when they're dead, because it's hard to track who's who when who's drawing. Looks like that's purple, so that's going to be Tesla Max drawing. It is a little bit confusing, I will note, because we have a red player for Team 1 and a red player for Team 2. So and we had a purple and purple, but just to, again, make a note, Team 1's up here, Team 2 is up here. Just to make the note, because sometimes I forget who's who from time to time. Chicken's coming to say hi. Oh, no, it's definitely going to be in range. And the chicken might be the target. If it doesn't stop, if it stops moving, it's not great. If it doesn't stop moving, it's probably the good idea. And chicken's going to move into range. And if they're being microed, which looks like they're not currently, yeah, it's not going to be fun for all those cruisers. Going to wipe out at least this much. And it's actually just going to try to stay above the water so that way its weapons works. Its tertiary cannon on its head is able to still fire that slow-moving, very, very deadly cannon. We have a nice little crab being surrounded by brick walls here, being boxed in. He's being built into a brick house, and that's never fun because it looks like he's just not going to be able to leave. And over here, another chicken. Just the line. A PD exists. How many is that? I want to know how many. Oh, he has 160. There's not actually 160 here. He's probably 5, 6, so 100. Let's say 150. That's a lot of PD in a short amount of space. ASFs, that's not having fun here for Team 1. They're kind of getting airlocked. Gunships are being hit. Ooh, there's almost about a squadron or so that's not going to make it home to see their families. And actually, not all of them are dying. Oh, there they go. Now more of them are being killed off. AA probably being built. There's more broadswords over there, so splitting a little bit up of the air experimentals, the ASF. And we do see bomb lands over here and nuke lands over here. Kaboom! Wipe something out over there. But we did see 2 artillery shells from Team 1. I didn't even know they built 1, so they built 2. And they're landing on the air grid. Air grid is almost rebuilt, but it's not shielded, which Cascade kind of waiting to happen. And western side looks like Cascade, speaking of which, is that with, shooing the ASFs away, but he did lose all of his gunships, so fair trade-ish. At least the reclaims on his side of the map. But, T3 area quarters is down. And half of the air grid is down once again. Not very great here for Team 2's air power. There goes another chunk of it. Only a couple of air-producing facilities are alive still for Twitchy Mofo. Nuke Killed off 34,000 mass, working on its third one, I believe. And then chicken in the water still hanging out. Some of the cruisers did survive, but a lot of them is not going well. Monkey Lord going to be killed off a lot of bouncers. The bouncers are doing some damage to the Monkey Lord, given the fact that they're not designed for ground units. But again, Monkey Lord gets one vet because of that, so that'll be nice. There are some bricks moving in to intercept, and looks like all the bricks are moving in to just intercept that as we speak. Another Billy Nuke. We have GC and Chicken over here. Chicken dead for Team 1. Billy Nuke going to land right here. That's a nice little clumpage of units there. Another Billy Nuke going to land right here. And boom, there goes that. That's another chunky unit dead. Both both Twitchy and Dart Sand are doing a very good job of constantly pumping out those Billy Nukes and just doing damage to Team 1's advances. It is helping Team 2, specifically Nomad, to get some sort of defensive line online. We have Dart Sand at 24,000, and then we have, where's Twitchy Mofo? Twitchy Mofo's over here. He's at 26,000. So they're pretty close to one another in terms of damage. And ooh, that's not going to go well. Airgrid getting hit for Dart Sand. Team 2 is going to lose some of their power, and that's probably not good. I'm assuming that's not terrible. Well, that's not great. Twitchy Mofo's negative on power. It looks like he's fixing it now. Nomander's not super great. Looks like he's fixed it now. So Team 2 not doing super well on power, but it's not too bad. Their eco is doing not as bad as well. It's roughly in lockstep with Team 1 at this point. A little bit behind, but not by much. And we have 2 chickens and a GC walking to a bar, moving that way. Triple experimental pointed out by Average. And yep, he's going to move that way. Looks like maybe a command to just send it over to this. That is definitely a concerning thing. There's a 3rd one being built and a 4th one being built. That's a lot of firepower for Team 1. Would like to see more shields from this, especially on this western side. I know you might be able to not put one here, but here, and here at a bare minimum, and then of course put a PGen there to get the full maximum. And why is there not a PGen here? Like, what's up with that? Just get the full maximum fire rate out of those things. Nuke is inbound from Team 2's Wreckathor again. So how's this nuke doing? It's almost loaded twice, and it hasn't fired once yet. It's kind of weird. Ooh, Billy Nuke got redirected. There's some TMD being built. That should be enough. Yep. Nope. Let's see. Yep, there it goes. Kills off that Billy Nuke from Team 2, from Team 1 to Team whatever. The redirected nonsense. Nuke is inbound. It might clip the max. ASF's flying over top. That's never fun. And I don't think it's going to clip any of them. It might clip this one. Oh, did you get out of range? No, you did not. There you go. But kaboom! Wipes out a chunk of forces. And, of course, a lot of hit points off of that megawatt there. Team D is being slowly eroded. It looks like there was some here, but now it's gone. So some efforts have been made, but not a lot. Eastern side, again, nothing too crazy. It's still just a constant battlefield over there. Eastern side over here. Nomander's getting some shield, 40 minutes on the clock, but it's just not a great thing. They need some long-range thing, or they need something. The Game Ender, nuke, other nuke, something. And Team 1 looks like second nuke is loaded up and hasn't fired any yet, which is kind of interesting. Fat Boy almost done for Cascade. And looks like he's building another chicken in the water. How's that group of GC and chickens inbound? Well, heavily damaged 2 of them. One of them's the perfect clean bill of health. There's a GC and a Mega inbound with a chicken on the way, and it will be done. So now Team 1 will have the advantage, especially with 2 GC, or a GC and a chicken heavily damaged. Chicken online, another chicken online. So there's 4 experimentals for Team 1. We have a crab inbound from Wreckathor, so that might help even things out a little bit. I feel like this chicken should be targeting this one, so that way you can kill off those that one unit first. Looks like that chicken's going to give the other ones a hug. And explosion in the west. Billy Nuke lands on the shield. Looks like Twitch Muffo got that redirected onto himself. Probably won't make that mistake again. Artillery still raining in on this position. It's holding, but not really anything else being produced out of that base for now. Chicken is down. This chicken's about to die. GC still alive. Megalith just charging forward. We have SACUs in the mix. Hopefully they don't get singed, because it's going to hurt a lot having them cascade on top of one another. GC not engaging the other GC because of the angle. Chicken is almost dead. Megalith is almost dead from Team 2. GC is down and Chicken is down. Got to be a little bit of reclaim still for Team 1. Looks like those SACUs are kind of getting beat up by the 2 Ion Strongs from Team 2. And then that GC probably won't make it home, maybe. Oh, yeah, definitely won't make it home. There goes the Crab, and there goes the GC. There it goes. And here come that. Looks like a Strat Bomber from Team 2 got... Looks like Team 2. Maybe it was Team 1's got wiped out. Gunships inbound, and I don't think that's really going to go anywhere for Team 2. They are the SACU Nano Combatant presets. They don't have the Overcharge on board, but they have the Nano and the sensor package. So this is what Team 2 can see with them. At least I think that's a sensor package, right? Let's target this one. Yeah, it's advanced sensor, so cannon range goes up, omni range goes up, and vision goes up. So very definitive, like this is what the thing does. I do like those little stats there. And Billy Nuke gonna land over here. Oh, they're just flying back and forth. Oh, here comes another one from Team 2 back to Team... Ooh, lands in front of Darth Sand's face. That's never fun. That looks like some PD have been taken out, but not a whole lot. There's still all of the everything built by Nomad. Look at that. That is insane. Oh, that's insane. Paragon right there here for Team 2. So lovely to see a nice little game winner making its appearance. Team 1, you prepping something? Maybe. We'll see if they end up doing something more. Mass FAF farms, Crab. Artillery kind of got singed a little bit, but not much. Still with the 2 artillery pieces here. It looks like another one's going to be built here for XR. He's going to build an emissary this time. Strat Bomber's inbound for that SMD. They cracked the shield, but not enough to crack the other one. They do crack the other one. New one is built. Looks like a nuke was soon to be inbound from Team 2, and it's not going to be loaded and fired. It'll be a couple of minutes before it's done, but he is having... Oh, my goodness, there's another one. There's 3 of them. They're multiplying. They're like rabbits. They're multiplying. Megalith over here versus another Megalith. That one's going to dive. A little bit of reclaim for Team 2. Speaking of reclaim, I don't even know how much reclaim's on the map because a lot of stuff has died. 373,000 mass in climbing, so enough to build anything in the game almost twice. Closing in on that twice multiplier. But we'll see if it ends up getting to that. In terms of reclaim meters, we have Team 1 at 370. Team 2 right behind them, 362,000 mass. That is very tight between the 2 teams. Total mass accrued still favors Team 1, but I mean, it's 100 plus. Oh, that's closing on 200,000, which is concerning, but not a terrible amount, I guess, percentage-wise. Teleporter started for Wreck. If he traded off is cloaking for. Maybe he'll go after the air grid. Maybe he'll go after this. There's not a lot of oh, there's some PD here, so maybe not. We'll see what he ends up going for. Artillery still striking that position. Looks like Darth Sands gifted everything over to Prichimofo. There's some Othams in his base, or was his base. Does have an SACU still, so maybe he's just going to be firing Billy Nukes. 32,000 mass killed with his comm, and 38,000 killed with Twitchimofo's comm. 44 minutes on the clock. And that Paragon that I noticed just briefly, almost in the yellow. Needs to get a little bit higher before it gets to that. I think it's 1250 is actually the 25% mark. Shields have broken down. There goes some P-gens. Pretty much the air grid for Team 2 is non-existent. No more ASFs for the time being. Unless they produce out of this facility, then that's different. Looks like he's just producing bombers, though. Eastern side still has some holes. Another Billy Nuke inbound. Really well placed, I will admit. Very well led shot there. Oh, but it gets redirected because it's loyalist anyway, so never mind. It would have been well placed. But gets denied. That's a little unfortunate, but hey, that's just what happens. And 3 nukes down here. One is loaded, one is almost, and one is almost halfway. Ooh, P-gens, couple of mexes go down. That's never fun. I don't think the shields are strong enough to withstand the firepower of that magnitude. Shield, ooh, yeah. They're being assisted. They have been upgraded to ED5s, at least some of them. Actually, I think all of them have been upgraded to ED5s, so a little bit more shield capacity, but ooh, not looking good. Team 1 is focused on that. Strat Bomber stacking up over here. That's Nomander's staging area underneath that little shield dome, it looks like. Teleporter almost at 50%. Lots of land forces. And Gamer... Well, Gamer 9 is... wait, what? Did we watch Gamer 9 get killed?
Strategic launch detected.
When did Gamer 9 die? I don't know when he died. When did he die? Did he die over here and I just missed it? Oh, I'm sorry, XR. Not XR, but Gamer 9. I completely missed that. That's my bad. Oh, when I saw that... Oh, there was one that just got fired, but Or I should say launch, but ooh. That's gotta hurt. Here comes the nuke from Team 2. The last nuke, at least for now. It's gonna land right on top of that fat boy. Kaboom! Nice little headshot. Chicken's down as well. Tons of mass on the map over there. And yeah, I don't know when I didn't notice Gamer9's death, but apologies for missing it. It's a 3v4 game in favor for Team 2 once again. We have 2 of the players for Team 1 up here and then the other one in the water. So all of them in the water for Team 1. Team 2, there's 2 right here and then 1 moving in the water, I guess. So 1 right there and then 1 over there. So 2 of them in the water soon and then 2 of them not in the water. Teleporter closing in on 80% and climbing. 2 monkeys just charging on forward. Not a lot of stuff down here. We have some strap bombers moving in to assist, but it's not really a whole lot. Another Billy Nuke lands dealing with... Oh, looks like it helped kill off that crab. That was helpful. More PDs being built. We have artillery being built. Nomander really wants to keep his line of PD, at least the majority of it, intact. Darsan assisting with the construction of that Paragon, going up to almost 50% now. Ooh, P-gens are being targeted. That's not good. Definitely needs that power to fuel all the everything else. Strap bomber might get 1 more. Nope, does not. And I don't know. This western side's not looking good for Team 2. Another chicken's a little under half done. And now, oh no, the PD line's being hit. Oh no, look at that. That one's gone. SACUs are walking by. Ooh, one of them I think got singed, but they are fine for now. They're working on the construction of the Paragon. They're going to put all their eggs into that basket. We'll see if it ends up working for them. And Satellite also started for Twitchy Mofo, so that might help a little bit. Team 1, you going any... Ooh, I see you. YOLO coming online. Well, it's crazy. The YOLO has 12,000 hit points, and the Paragon has 5. Not a lot of hit points for the Paragon. I think it's the least amount of hit points for any game ender, because the YOLO has 12. I think the Mavor has like 10. And then I think the Scathis might have 9. I think it definitely has 9. I think the Mavor might have 10. I don't think it has 8. I think it has 9. I think it has 10, but I could be wrong. Anyway, and this western side's not looking good. Team 2 is very lax on defenders. Rekethur teleports in, gives everything over to his teammate of Nomander. Ravagers were built in the interim to protect the YOLO and also to, I guess, to deal with Rekethur. He kills off a chunk of the northern air, but I don't think he'll make much more difference. Needs to go a little bit further south. Laser's going to open up again, maybe. Oh, there he goes. Kills off a lot of the bombers, but again, those were just built to deal with him anyways, so I guess the problem solves itself in terms of what to deal with the other bombers. Team 2 loses a player. 3v3 now. Paragon's in the green. 4,100 and climbing. Does Team 1 know about it? Yes, they do. Team 2, do you know about the YOLO from Team 1? No, you do not. That is not good. And another explosion. Artillery still landing back here. Novax might get hit. Ooh, just barely. Oh, no, it does get hit. Look at that. And it dies, so the Novax is down. Team 2 just has the Paragon remaining. 4,500 and climbing. It's at 90%. And again, Team 1 knows about it. There's 3 shots inbound. Salvation has been primed. Shielding is starting to drop. Not a lot on land. We see a little bit of pushback from Team 2 over there at 95% for Gamer9. And the shot hits the Paragon and kills it before it's done. Nomander control Ks that whole section. And he control Ks. And... Ooh, Gamer... Oh, not Gamer9, but Dartsan and Twitchy Mofo. Team 2 has 2 players left. They're tied. Well, actually, Team 1's in the lead right now, but... Ooh, Dartsan's right there. Everything's transferred over to Twitchy. And then the remaining players from Team 2 teleport and get out of there. There they go. And Team 1 wins the game 49 minutes. That Paragon was almost done. How was the YOLO? It was almost done. So we had 2 game enders that almost were completed, but 1 shot, 1 kill from Team 1's XRAR's artillery piece wipes that out. So nice grab there. Ends the game just flat out. Nice game here from both teams, but just Team 1 still had a little bit going. But again, to point out, if it wasn't for the artillery, there was a chicken inbound, there's a megalith behind them, there's 2 monkeloids down here. So they were going to lose stuff eventually anyways. So it wasn't going to be, maybe they could have held out for, 10 more minutes. It's probably going to be about 5 Some of those PD survived, but yeah, MVP for me. I mean, Cascade had a nuke that was there for a while. 3 of them loaded, not even fired. I feel like that's a missed opportunity there. But the artillery did come in very well for Team 1. It wiped out a chunk of the air grid. And again, the Almasat kind of wiped out a chunk of it as well. And then it was rebuilt and it was wiped out again. It kept Team 2 down in the count for ASF, so Team 1 could really amass a nice little grouping, averse to that. And then I think Team 2 was on the back foot. And Team 1, of course, multiple players got secondary and tertiary bases. They really could scale, so that helped. And it just was one of those things where I think maybe killing off a player or 2 in the beginning probably wasn't the best idea. But you just don't know that. You don't know how the game's going to work out. MVP, I mean, I'll give it to everybody for Team 1 generally, but I mean, it's a mix. Like XR did very good with that artillery piece. You had Air did very well for Cascade. You had Average Smurf and Droid did very well on that eastern side. Kept the pressure just constant on that eastern side. Really kept Team 2 back here. And then Cascade and Gamer 9 did a very good job over there. I don't know how Gamer 9 died, but I'm going to go find out. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Again, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Again, as always, really do appreciate the time and attention to give these videos, and I will see all of you in the next one.